As I was, as a continuation of the previous link, another way to support students of this culture would be to provide them with specific times in the day that they may approach me with questions. Previously, I stated how the Asian population would remain quiet during the lesson, and then they would find me later during independent work or free time to ask me questions to clarify. So one thing I can do is provide them with specific times that may be a time that they can come and ask me specific questions, and then that will ease their tensions about asking questions. Um, in the article by Riemann and Chun, published in 2017, they also discussed the following quote. They said, in some instances, due to Chinese modesty and self-conscious, students do not consider asking questions in public as a good habit. Students therefore display passive roles in class where they are not encouraged to speak out for fear of being incorrect and are face conscious or feel embarrassed, especially when questions posed may reveal a knowledge gap. So allowing them to come to me at certain specific times that I've implemented into the day may be a strategy that will be helpful for them when they are having confusions and need clarification. The same authors also discuss strategies that would work well with this population of students. So I've listed 6 of them here. I'll just briefly go through each of them. The first one they noted was a clarification pause. This is within the lesson, the teacher spending a little bit more time pausing so that the students can take in the information that's being provided to them. In many of the articles that I read, the Asian population tends to listen intently and then memorize the information without having to ask questions. So giving them that chance for that clarification pause could be beneficial to their learning. Also providing them a short quiz with review questions. This again would eliminate the need for them to ask questions. They could just answer questions on an independent quiz or a list of review questions, and then I can review that to see where they may be having some issues and need some clarification. Another suggestion that they had was note sheets for students to fill blank spaces. So providing them with a with a note sheet that I've created based on the lesson, where they would just fill in some blank spaces as they were taking notes. Jigsaw learning, which is something that could be beneficial for all students, where they have choices. Collaborative teams, where they would socialize and speak with each other about the lessons. And concept mapping, graphic organizers, maps for them to fill out, things like that that we discussed in the vocabulary assignment. They also discussed flip learning, in which the teacher provides information to the students ahead of time for them to review at home before teaching the lessons. And based on the fact that the Asian population has such a focus on education and academics, I think that that might be beneficial as well, because they could take that material home and we would know that they would get support from their family. The authors of the study bring to light many other strategies. However, the ones I listed seem to be the most relevant for the Asian population that I'm discussing. As we know, the social piece in education is also critical to learning. So one way to encourage this population of students to become more social is through the use of their own language. Derderian, Aghajanian, and Kong Kong discuss using their first language to help them develop transfers to the second language. So they assert that if teachers let Chinese students express themselves and present their ideas in Chinese, students have opportunities to continue the development of their own thinking. So allowing them to use some of their own cultural language in the lessons could be beneficial. With that being said, teachers would then have to be have some knowledge of that language. So maybe for having the students provide some of that language knowledge to the teachers would also be helpful. Allowing students to express themselves in their own language helps to increase their comfort level in the classroom, which makes socialization fall into place much easier. And students thrive on learning new information, especially languages and things related to the outside world. So allowing them to bring their own language piece into it could be beneficial for not only the Asian population, but any other ELLs in the classroom, as well as all the all of the other students in the classroom. The following are the references that I used in the presentation. These two were both articles. This was also an article, and then these three, the top one was an article, and I'm sorry, the top two were articles, and the last one was found on a website. Thank you for watching my presentation. I hope that I was able to incorporate all of the components that were required, and I look forward to hearing feedback.